All right, so I always start this off with the live check. I feel like I gotta say that every time now. Let's see. We're confirming.
Sure.
Okay, it shows Twitter's live. Why is it not showing Twitch though? Okay. Well, I see Mixer, Twitter, Facebook, all that's live. So I'm gonna consider us live right now. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Emano Talk. I'm here with the Westside's own Anonymuz.
Yo,
What's good, bro?
chilling. Just a normal Saturday.
Yeah, you say you had a long night, man, but how was your week?
I mean, it was good. Just kind of like trying to just stay consistent with like making beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like I don't know, I'm like in a weird spot.
You're just trying to make everything right now from scratch?
Yeah.
All homemade right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, like a fresh pie. I love
Yeah.
that kind of shit, man. All organic. But damn, man, it's been a long week for me. I went to Orlando last week with my girl. Came back, got a sty. Yesterday was like my first day back into reality. But it's good to be here with you, man. Honestly, like I feel
Appreciate you
like
for having me.
I feel like watching like your growth for the longest time is one of the craziest things, because I'll start it off by saying you're one of like the original, if not probably one of like the first, if not the first person to really like pursue this rap shit. Like out here, at least out in the West Side. I remember finding out about you when I want to say I was still in high school, if not like the first year I just got out of high school. So like 2010, 2011, 2009 potentially.
Okay.
And you just really like gone for it. You stayed consistent. Like you said, you're just trying to remain consistent, but like your consistency has got you to where you are now. So we got a lot to talk about. But let's take it back to that time, bro. I remember the first time I actually saw you perform. There was a show at a hookah lounge on Griffin Road.
Oh wow.
WFH was throwing it.
Yeah.
And I saw you live there for the first time. I was like, yo, this kid's actually pretty nice. Because you were like real lyrical back then. You know, you were like
Yeah.
on your studious shit. It seemed like you real like classic hip hop shit. And like to where you are now, it's a crazy journey. So, I mean, I don't even know where to start, but how did you get into music?
Really just like my mom would always like play shit around the house, and it was never like rap music, but like it was just always like different genres of stuff. So like I just always appreciated music, you know what I'm saying? So like when I actually like started like listening to rap and shit, it just really like captivated me and just made me want to like just start writing.
Yeah. And was there like any like specific like inspiration there? Like was there any like certain music you were listening to at the time, or like something you saw like that like a musician did or something?
It was really like Eminem and like Kanye.
Okay.
That was really it.
That's actually a crazy mix right there, but that's a dope one. I mean, back then, like you got to think about it. Like Eminem was really like one of the craziest storytellers, and obviously Kanye's a pioneer.
Right.
Like making his own beats, like how
Yeah.
how you do, because you make your own beats and you engineer, right?
I don't engineer. My homie Maroon Rhythms, he engineers
Okay.
all my projects, but I'm definitely making beats. Like I made 5 beats off of No Threat and Poison Clan and like and Rockstar and Green. Well, I co-produced Rockstar with my homie Lord Lucian.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you were saying that your direct influences pretty much come from like Kanye and them, because that's what really like sprouted like the seed in you to like just keep going with it. But toward your sound, like is there like a different group of artists, or like would you still say it's like those two artists as well?
Not so much really like Eminem anymore. But definitely still feel like early Kanye, just with like how I'm just really on my beat shit right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to stock up and like keep evolving my sound, because like I feel like producing has made me be able to actually like translate what goes on in my head sometimes and like create it to the most accurate level. And yeah, it's just what I've been on.
Okay, I could fuck with it, man. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, now you've been around for a minute, and like you were saying that your consistency, you feel like, is what attributes to like your continued growth and your continued success. What do you believe is like the secret to you maintaining such a high level work ethic?
Um, I just really love making music. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of those like if I go too long without like making a beat or just like listening to music or trying to like create something, I don't know what else to do. It's like
You get like an itch, like you just feel
yeah,
like you feel like there's something you should be doing.
yeah. I'm just always like trying to make something because
Yeah.
like I don't know. I just like to explore and shit, dog. Like the possibilities are endless.
Hell yeah. I mean, you got to keep exploring. I feel like life never ends with like that exploration because people don't realize growth continues until your very last moments, for instance. And
Right,
with times changing all the time, like a human could literally grow infinitely.
right.
So it's just like continuously finding like the new areas you can grow. And like that's what I feel like is attributing to your success because you have such like a diverse sound. Like you could go into so many different realms, but like you make it your own. And I feel like that also helps with the idea that you like make beats on your own as well. So I kind of want to take it back a little bit to like 2016. You had made I want to say it's an album because on Apple Music it shows as an album.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's
you
an
made
album.
Vice City. I feel like that's like really where like you put your feet in the ground and you like really made your lane. Like you started creating your lane at that point because that album was like honestly like it felt like you took like a creative crescendo like toward like a whole new area where you transcended and like you really like just started making your own waves at that point. So taking it back to Vice City, that really was like an emotional album. It felt like it was like just really raw and like like obviously back then you're talking about 4 years ago, so you were a lot younger. How old are you, by the way?
26.
26. Okay, so this is what 4 years ago, so you were about 22, 21, 22 years old.
Yeah,
um it's just like you could tell that like you're coming into like that real adulthood phase and like the kid in you is just pouring out everything else that he has before he becomes the man.
right.
Is that kind of like the idea you put into Vice City?
Um, it was really just it was more of exploring the concept of like what I feel like grief could do to a person and what it could make them like indulge in. And I feel like it definitely has elements of that because it definitely was a maturation like story. So yeah, I could definitely see.
Yeah, because that's like the age, like, where like, especially for men, that we're really like realizing what we're about to get into as far as like what our responsibilities become.
Right.
So I feel like that's really like where a lot of people say 18 is the age, where people hit adulthood. I feel like it's really more so like that 21 through like 25 is like really like where you're just like truly finding out like who you are, what you're capable of, what you're going to have to be responsible for, in your lane. So like you could hear that like all throughout the album, and there's so many different sounds. Like I mean, you get poetic at points, like where you're just strictly like spitting poetry. You got like your classical vibes as far as like the old school like sample style like
Right.
smokers beats almost with the just bar after bar after bar, and it's really fire.
Right.
And then you even kind of like throughout the album also start growing into the sound you find right after that. Like I kind of want to say it's like that's when you became radical in a sense because that's when the whole radical movement is when I started to see it like populate from there. Did you feel yourself like making that growth as you were developing the album?
Oh yeah. But I didn't. Okay, no. Let me not even say that. I didn't feel that growth when I was developing the album. I felt that growth right after it. Cause
Like when you heard it for the first time?
nah, when after Vice City, I was just like in a really really weird place because I worked on that album for like 2 years. So like, and it was the first time I was like living off music, and like I was really just kind of like trying to readjust to like the world, and like what I could do, and I felt like I was just exploring new sonic horizons, and I was just like, yo, what do I think is dope right now? And like it was just basically the sound that I ended up developing like for your Meshi. So it was like, yeah, it was like right around then that like just radical like really just came to be like a concept.
Yeah, and I feel like the cool thing is like with the whole radical transition for you, I feel like radical doesn't mean like what it did, and like what we hear in the past. Like when people used to say radical is like, that's really awesome. No, like I feel like your sense of like radical is like I've evolved. Like I'm this radical being. Like I'm beyond what is the norm. Like I'm
Exactly.
now like transcending into what I know I'm capable of doing.
Right.
And I think it was literally like the perfect segue into like because that's when you dropped like Motorola, Urameshi, and then like leading into, you know, There Is No Threat, and all the singles you dropped along the way as well.
Right.
So now, you know, when the radical movement started, like was the radical concept like yours, or is that when you started coming together like with like maybe some other creative forces?
It was something that me and my manager came up with, actually. Like,
Okay. Gotta get hydrated. Stay hydrated, folks. Drink your water.
So yeah, it was something we came up with, actually, because we really were just like, yo, we just wanted something to tell these kids that are listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you gotta be yourself, man. Like, niggas is gonna hate you for who you are,
No matter what.
no matter what. So you might
People
as well
sleep
just
on
be
that
you.
concept. Like they always feel like once they make it that it's just like, oh, I'm no longer gonna be hated. Like people are always gonna love me. No,
Yeah.
don't happen that way.
So yeah, that's where that shit came from.
Yeah, strictly being you. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
And like the cool part is that like even though it's like a, you know, like a collaborative effort with your manager and all that, like it's a effort to show that like you could be independent because you're also an independent artist. And like now we're seeing shit like what happened with Diddy and Mace popping out, right? Where Mace is saying that like he's basically in like this crazy ass contract where he only got paid like $20,000 for his publishing rights. And you're talking about Mace back then was a platinum selling artist. Like back then being a platinum selling artist meant like you were on top of the world, like millions on millions on millions. Like you're making bread, and he made hit after hit after hit. Like that whole Bad Boy run was crazy. And to hear that like Diddy's like holding this contract over his head saying like, nah, you know, this European guy's offering me a lot more money for your contract. Like try to match that. Do you feel like that's like, you know, you see these things and like it's almost like a warning sign to you that like I got to keep playing this lane because obviously you're proving to be successful in this realm.
Right.
Right. I mean, like think about it.
I mean, it's a crazy industry. It's a crazy industry, but like you gotta have a lawyer. That's all I can say about that.
Yo,
no matter,
shout out lawyers.
Any artist listening to me right now, get a lawyer.
Yeah.
If you don't have a lawyer, get a lawyer immediately.
Yeah.
Get a lawyer.
I actually saw someone tweet, I want to say it was like yesterday, 2 days ago, that they were saying they're like, and even when you have a lawyer, get a second lawyer. Because like if it's like that label appointed lawyer, that they could be playing both sides, that like they could be playing the interest of the label versus you, even though they're saying they're in your best interest.
It's a crazy game.
Hell yeah. You gotta play it smart. People don't realize like being secure about that.
I'm like, yo.
I think you're the first person to bump into the mic.
That's hilarious.
It's all good though. First time for everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, people don't realize like the power of the lawyer. Those lawyers be helping you out, especially if you find the right one. Shout out my lawyers, by the way. I've had them look over numerous contracts. So that's why you got to be smart about the way you try to take care of yours. Take care of your chickens, like Marshawn Lynch said.
Right.
Right? That's the best thing you could possibly do. But now this transition between Vice City and There Is No Threat is really where like you started like, you know, gaining this crazy momentum. Mm-hmm. As of more recently, like 2019, before, you know, There Is No Threat came out, or around the time it came out, I'm not too sure exactly, but you found yourself with a Sprite endorsement, right? Yeah. How did that come about?
I think they had reached out to us. No, you know what it was? They had sent a tweet out or something like that, and they were like, "Oh, who are some dope musicians or something like that?" And a bunch of my fans just tweeted them, like a bunch of them, and like I ended up retweeting it. And I was like, "Oh, let's get a Sprite deal, y'all." Just like joking, and then they ended up emailing us, and they were like, "Oh, we heard about you because a bunch of your fans were like, yo."
They went crazy.
Yeah, and like, they hit us up, and you know, that whole thing just came to be.
Yeah, and is that why you made the track Green? Because that track is pretty dope.
Yeah, that was actually like the plan for that.
Like, okay, so it's strategic. Yeah. That's a smart move, man. That was like really dope to see. And did that happen now before or after you started getting the songs and the commercials for like the NFL and the NBA?
Oh man, it was that was all like really close to each other.
It was like, honestly, it felt like it was like domino pieces, bro. Like that's how crazy it felt. Like it was like, yo, like this man, like between like you and your management, like it just felt like y'all were knocking over domino after domino after domino.
That shit was crazy. Damn, when was that? When did we?
I want to say like early to mid 2019, probably, maybe a little bit. Well, if it's NFL, it was a little later, probably.
NFL was when NFL was like August. I want to feel like August or early September, because I remember I was in LA for like a few months, and yeah, that was when we saw the TV shit. That was actually a crazy day.
I remember social media was popping about that shit. Literally, just like, yo, Anon is on the NFL, Anon's on the NBA. Like, it's wild. And then all over their social media too.
Yeah.
Like you see like the Cavs posting it. I think I saw like the Timberwolves or some shit. Like you performed at the Heat Celtics halftime show too.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
And what kind of experience was that?
It's really interesting because it was more of like a like Tonight Show, kind of like they beamed it in. You know what I'm saying? So like we were in like this lounge, and it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Was it like the Grey Goose Lounge or whatever it is down there, the Hyde Lounge? It's like under the arena almost.
No. It wasn't that. It was like at this hotel on South Beach. But that shit was crazy. Long story short, that shit was just crazy. My homie Rugard was there on bass. My homie Hyde was there on keys.
Oh, so it was a live like instrumentation. Yeah. Yo, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's
you know
dope.
Saying? My DJ Slick Morpheus, he was out like DJing the shit. It was sick. It was really sick. Like, it made me want to do more like intimate performances with like live music like that.
I feel like that's gonna be the new wave heading into this decade. Cause like I feel like before it was like, oh, like I could sell out a show of like, 10,000 people, 20,000 people, like, or whatever it is. Like people were always talking about like selling out the show. I think now it's just more of like, how can the artist connect with the, the fan live now? Because I feel like just because you have a lot of people doesn't mean you could connect as a performer. Like you see a lot of these like artists live get frustrated easily because like some of the fans just aren't connecting with their live performances. Like they're not doing much. And it's not saying like you got to be jumping around and doing all kinds of stuff. You just got to like do something that connects with them. Like even like Jay-Z, like he just walks around, but it's like the fact that like, he walks around and like he'll look at certain fans and the fan will be like, yo, like he's like looking at me, connecting with me right now, like spitting me, 99 problems. And like, I feel that shit, like, or whatever's going on at the moment. But do you feel like as a live performer, like that's like big to you? How you were saying, like you like this like intimate kind of like setting to be able to perform like to your fans directly?
Yeah, for sure. Cause like, it's like, there's two sides. So it's like, you get that, which I feel like is real dope for like the, just the musicality of things, but like also I love to get fucking rowdy too at shows. So it's like, it's like either or.
And there's a certain time for it each time.
Exactly.
It's finding the balance between. That's why I'm saying like so many people are just focused on like, yo, I could throw rowdy show after rowdy show after. It's like, it's not all about that. It's like, how can you like kind of like escalate it to a moment? Like how can you keep bringing it to this new level every single time?
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's pretty dope though, man. You had a pretty dope 2019, and then obviously, leading into 2019, there is no threat.
Yeah,
and I feel like obviously, like I don't want to say this is like the epitome of it because I feel like there's only more to come.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is like really where it's like, all right, now like your feet are cemented on a new level. Like you hit like a new platform with that. And I want to start off the questions by asking the features you have on it. I don't know much about. I think the first one's name is Swersey or something like that. I don't know much about him, but I know the other two, Sylvan LeCue and obviously Denzel Curry, Florida native features. How did you come about getting those features?
So I had met Sylvan like a long time ago, but we just reconnected through like my manager. Same with Denzel. Like they all just like knew him through like the clothing world because he also owns the clothing line like Vintage Sterion.
Yep, shout out Vintage Sterion.
Shout out Vintage Sterion. So through that, we just linked up and like I was just working on the project and we just sent them stuff and they fucked with it and sent it back to us and that was it.
Yeah, and I see you've been connecting more with Curry. I've seen you guys in LA together.
Yeah, that's the homie.
Yeah, and then even, like sometimes at live shows you go and you perform with him.
Yeah.
So do you feel like maybe something in the future is coming up between y'all? Maybe some work coming up?
Oh yeah. We've got a lot of shit. Like we've got a lot of shit.
Yeah. I feel like he's really holding the torch right now for Florida.
Yeah. He's doing his thing.
Like low key.
He's going crazy.
Man got, what was it, Lyricist of the Year with Genius?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is wild. Him versus J. Cole. You would think the J. Cole stands would like come right out there.
That
do
shit
their
was
thing
crazy.
with Curry. You know, that was huge. That was
Yeah.
huge to see, especially for Florida.
I was
I
gonna
feel like
say,
Florida
yeah.
needed that victory right there.
I feel like everything right now should just be for Florida. I feel like everybody should just focus back in on
Yeah.
here and just really making it like,
There's a lot of talent out here.
yeah, go crazy again. Because I know something's coming. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
All right. So I wanted to play a track and kind of like have you break it down a little bit if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool. So let's get that here. All right, so the first track I'm going to play is Sundown. It's the intro track to the album. Here we are.
Stargazing, white even though my heart's racing. South Beach right around Art Basel. Wonder when things gon' start changing. I need Obama back. I feel like I need a trauma pack. For my psyche, I might need a hollow tip. Shorty calling, I might need to call her back. I see all of y'all asking the same thing. What is life for a nigga like me? Everybody wanna be the friend that I want, but don't nobody wanna be the friend that I need. Everybody trying to see the end of my piece, but ain't nobody trying to see the end of my piece. Maybe fake shit was a lesson I need. Maybe trying to face shit was a better idea. Maybe not, but I don't know. Whole world made a nigga monotone. They wanna judge me off the cover of my novel, so I just deal with it. Next week I might feel different. Talk shit might be real friction. Been that way for a little minute, so what I'ma do? Blood on my shoes, blood on my blood in the booth, blood in my cup, blood in my roots, blood in my love, blood in my food. Too much of anything is dangerous. 2 cups of Henny, please the pain with us. New trust can never ease the pain, brother. New love don't ever feel the same, does it? Damn. I don't fuck with a lot of people I grew up with. I was on the grind, it was on some dumb shit. I was on a dime, it was on some dumb shit. I don't wanna rhyme when I'm off the substance. I just wanna find something I can fuck with. I just want a sign that I'm not up on my mind, cause I'm all about my grind. I can't watch the sunset, people trying to sleep on me. It feel like I'm living in prison in real life. I think about ending it, still might. A little percent of me see the bitch in your energy, and a little percent of me feel like there ain't no karma, so I'm so amazed when it ain't no on the code. But I feel the same, boy, I ain't no father. Sundown. You already know it's gonna sundown. It's no brand, bitch. Ain't no sundown. Not now or ever. Yeah. Fuck out of here, boy. Radical. Sundown. Fuck going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was a powerful like statement track that really like opened all this up.
Mm.
I don't know where to begin
That
with it. I
song
mean, like,
was a bitch to record.
it was a bitch to
That
record.
song was a bitch
Why?
to record. Nah, it was just like, I remember I did so many fucking versions of that song.
You just wanted
rewrote
it a
so many
specific way?
times. Like I just wanted some, like, I don't know. I just like the beat was just so fire. Shout out Downtown. Like, I was like, yo, I just had to come in with it, like, and
The
go
beat's
crazy.
fire.
Like, so
You didn't make
yeah.
that one though.
Nah, I didn't make that one.
All right, you said that was Downtime.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Downtime. I don't know who you are, but you killed that shit. You killed that shit, man. But you snapped on it too. The lyrics were wild. It felt like you really like at that point like were comfortable with who you were. Right? Because it felt like with Vice City, it's like you're just finding things out. So it's like you're still also like figuring things out at that point, like in the sense of like, I got to get my groove. Now it seems like you have your groove with There Is No Threat. And when Sundown comes on, you just feel it like from the get. So when like even the beat drops, it just feels like the Savage comes out. Like there was a whole point. I can't even recite it lyric for lyric. I'm terrible with lyrics, but it's just like at one point you talk about like blood, this blood, that. Yeah. Can you take me through that a little bit?
What I'ma do? Blood on my shoes, blood of my blood in the booth. Blood in my cup, blood in my roots, blood in my love, blood in my food. Too much of anything is dangerous.
Do you feel like that's you like saying like everybody's food, like if you cross me the wrong way, or just like if you get in my path, try to slow me down, like I'm now like so comfortable with myself that I'm just going up? Is that kind of like what it was really going for there?
Not really. What it's really going for is really the last line sums it all up. Too much of anything is dangerous. Like,
Is that you kind of like, because the first album is Vice City. Is that like you kind of like coming to terms with your vices, like in the sense that like if I have too much of this, it's like gonna be bad for me?
Anything. If I work too much, if I sleep too much, if I go out and indulge too much, if I go crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, too much of anything is dangerous. Like, I feel like life is all about balance.
And then the last verse. The last verse I feel like is you kind of just being like, there's no competition no more. Like, it's just me. Like, I'm the only one in my own path. Like, it felt like you've taken control of like what you want in life.
Right.
Do you feel like that's like what you accomplished with that track? Is just like really, because obviously as an intro track you want to set the tone. Like it feels like with that last verse, like the tone was officially set.
Oh yeah, because I mean, even with that whole project, that really was me like taking control of my life from like a crazy situation. So it was like, I feel like the intro has to set that tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I feel like what I want to play next kind of like works because it's like with that first track, it was like instinctual. Or I should say, if I'm going to be corny as fuck right now, primal. So I fuck with primal. All right. So this is that next track is primal.
The philosophers Camus and Sartre raised the question whether or not a man can condemn himself. The black existentialist philosopher who is pragmatic, Frantz Fanon, answered the question. He said that man could not. Camus and Sartre does not. We in SNCC tend to agree with Camus and Sartre that a man cannot condemn himself. Were he to condemn himself, he would then have to inflict punishment upon himself.
World keeps turning this back too. Backseat burning, we sure in a bad mood. Rad little black boys bagging the black coupe. Crash that shit, don't matter what man's do. The world ending when your melanin hurts everything that you do, and you're desperate for representation. So fuck it, I'ma still be a villain. Might build me a village, might kill me a nigga if he look to me like I just insulted his old girl. Jealousy gon' make you niggas talk to the whole world. Empathy is something I ain't having with you bastards since the past, and if I think of going back, then I'm gon' hurl. It be like that, it be like that. You knew that. If he might snap, then we might snap. You knew that. I'll be right back, then be right back tomorrow to rewrite facts, and we might just walk up in the jeweler, spend my last on a gold chain, break up with my shorty and go back to my old flame. Relish on my bad decision making with and say that people hate me for the fact that I know slang. I don't give a fuck about my actions, that's on gang. Pants sag, bandana flagging and gold fangs. You terrified of me, but I can't hand you the whole blame. The media done told you who I am and it won't change.
Won't change, won't change, won't change, won't change, won't change, won't change, won't change.
Everybody wanna be a nigga till they Kaepernick don't play. Scrambling to put they shit together like Soul Train.
Those days, those days, those days, those days.
Told me I could live without a bicker or a frown.
Those days, those days, those days.
Told me I could live to be a king, I'm just a nigga with a crown. Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright, yeah. I've been on my king shit. I'm finna buy 3 whips. I'm finna talk shit and I'm finna be loud and I'm finna fly G6. Finna buzz down Jesus, peace, but please don't think I'm preaching. You cross me once and I don't need no reason. Goddamn.
Shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Margiela Madness. I need 2 M's when I go crazy, so y'all better have it. I need niggas thinking I sell dope when that top hit the back end. And I'm anonymous, but my competition that's all been established. That is keep updating, keep complaining, keep coming up with these dumb statements. These fought niggas see us making heat coming up must be frustrating. When a nigga future brighter than yours, it make you violent or act like it's the fall of earth and I am the Leviathan short. Niggas always trying to get more, trying to do me dirty and down low, but I'ma still be great until I step in the ground hole. Nigga with a crown, but I still got a crown, no threat.
No threat.
Yo, that one.
Yeah.
I like honestly, I think that might be my favorite track off the whole thing.
True.
I like it because it's just like it feels like 2 separate sides of you. And it feels like, because you know that's like kind of early on still in the album. It feels like the first side is, you know, from the Vice City you just being like, okay, like, you know, remember I mentioned that I'm comfortable with who I am now, and then it's like, now that I'm comfortable, watch me soar. Because like it seems like now your confidence is through the roof. I mean, you're talking about literally like I need 2 M's, you know, Margiela Madness, and when the beat switches and all that. But in the first half, I wanted to talk about the first half. You were talking about a Colin Kaepernick kind of reference.
Yeah.
All right. You were saying like everybody want to be until Kaepernick don't play. Scrambling to put they shit together like Soul Train. Like I really like that kind of like concept because it's like everybody like thinks like, you know, they have it all together, that they're working and all that stuff, but then they get mad like when they can't play no more. So like you kind of take me through your thought process on that like idea.
I feel like I just feel like everybody wants to be black till it's time to be black, man.
Until like the responsibilities of it come around, right?
That's it, yeah.
Because like obviously that's a big thing nowadays.
Everybody wants the pros, nobody wants the, you know what I'm saying, the realities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
That's it.
And then like I like how right after it it's like told me I could live without a bicker or a frown, told me I could live to be a king, I'm just with a crown.
Yeah. Right?
And then that's when you go into like your whole king shit attitude and you literally jump right into it when the beat switches. It's like I've been on my king shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I fuck with about it. It's like, all right, watch me evolve mid song.
Yeah.
Like I fuck with that. That's why it's like primal, it's like instinctive, it's like natural, like watch me naturally evolve.
Right.
I fuck with that, man. Like that was just such a powerful track as well. And the whole like idea of like even like the beats like right after, you know, Sundown, like going into right after it is Feel Good Part 2, right?
Yeah, Feel So Good.
Feel So Good Part 2, like that that was like a whole other like sound, and then going into 818, which was a whole other sound. And then
I produced
like,
those two actually.
You produced both Feel So Good and 818? Yeah, both of those tracks. I honestly was about to play 818 instead of Primal, but I was like, nah, I really fuck with Primal too heavy not to play that on the show.
No, I feel you.
So yeah, it's just like I don't know, it's wild. It's like in the first half of the track we have what feels like just capturing your anger, struggle, pain, and then it's just like going right into that confidence. You know, I could sit here and I could break down There Is No Threat all day, but I kind of want to talk about the future. Because when your management hit me up, they said, we got a lot of shit coming. We need to get him out there. We need to get him to talk about it. So let's talk about it, right? Let's start off with this. What are your plans for 2020?
2020, we're going to feed the fans again.
Okay.
So lots of music. But, you know, February 7th, that's when we dropping.
Okay, so it's February 1st now, so less than a week away.
Yeah, we dropping something. You know what I'm saying?
Don't know what it is.
Yeah, just gonna have to tune in to find out.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with this. Is it project related?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Something project related. Now, you said February 7th. Let's think about what else I could ask as far as that goes. So as far as a project would go, what's your inspiration going into that? Like, how do you think between There Is No Threat and Anon now, what kind of mentality has transitioned into this kind of project?
Well, this is the first project that I produced entirely.
So it's just strictly produced by Anon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely from top to bottom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So just this is where that's why like when you started off this whole conversation, you were like, I've been making beats. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, but like I just know that I need as many as I could get right now.
Yeah. I think people I'm really interested to see what people say about this project.
Okay.
It's going to be very, very interesting.
Is it okay if I ask for the name of the project? Or are we going to have to wait till February 7th?
Yeah, you're going to have to wait.
February 7th, folks.
February 7th.
I'm sorry to tell you. He's got secrets to keep, but that's what he's got to do. He's got to play it smart. He's got to play his chess, ain't checkers.
Feel me?
That's wild, man. Is there any features we could expect on the project?
Everybody who touched the project is from Florida.
Okay. So it's literally all homegrown. Literally all homegrown, homemade, fresh out the oven.
If you hear background vocals, if you hear other people, if you hear other instrumentation, Florida.
All Florida,
Makes Florida.
I fuck with it because it's just like you've been putting on for the Westside ever since the get. Ever since the start. That's what I'm saying. The first time I saw you was an all Westside show. WFH, Anon at that little hookah lounge on Griffin. I don't even think that shit's crazy. Still there anymore.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But from then till now, bro, it's wild to see your growth. You've been putting on for the Westside like crazy, bro. And I gotta say, on behalf of the Westside, hopefully they're okay with me saying this. Thank you, bro.
Yo,
thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
That shit's real dope. But I guess we're gonna wrap it up from there. So if anything, you want to shout out your social media to the people, so this way they want to find you or anything like that.
Yeah, Anonymous Killer on everything. ANONYMUZKILLA. And if you want to follow the Radicals and be a part of that, follow Radical Records too. RXDICALRECORDS.
I gotta say, yo, the Radical fans, y'all are dope. Y'all are dope,
Yes,
man.
sir.
This is a little powerful movement
Red
you
X
got going on
skin,
here.
man, that's fucking war paint.
I was gonna say, is that real or what's up with that? It's
War
really
paint.
there. It's really there. He says
Red
that
X
for
on my
Radical for.
skin, nigga, that's war paint.
When we close it out, I'll play the song so this
I
way
ain't
they can
slept
hear
in
that
like
too.
4 days.
Yo, honestly, you said you barely slept last night.
Bro, I barely sleep. It's crazy. I really feel like a crazy person. I swear.
That's
love it, though.
That's where the genius comes from, bro.
I
So
love
if you feel crazy until it works, and then
Exactly.
you're like, yo, I knew it all along, though. Like I thought I was crazy, but I knew it the whole time, man.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like, yo.
They
this
told me
shit's wild.
it's like when you see like in those movies, they told me I was crazy, but
Yeah.
look at me now. Oh shit! But yo, I appreciate you pulling on up.
Yeah,
I
appreciate
appreciate
you having me.
you know Shaq over here in the corner, him pulling up as well. So old friend right there. Yo, you want to hear a funny story? Because I think it's only right since Funeral just dropped. Lil Wayne just dropped his album.
Yes,
So
sir.
whenever I think of Lil Wayne, I have one memory that does stick out to mind from when the Carter 2 first dropped, and that was me and Shaq. We used to be in our English class, and like we had nothing to do. I would give him like one headphone, and I'd have one headphone. And I remember the first thing like I ever listened to with this man was the Carter 2. So shout out to Shaq. Shout out Anon pulling on up a little bit of memories right there to end the show with. But if y'all want to follow us on social media, you can. That's at Emano Talk, at EMANOTALK. We have a select bit of merch left. So if you want to buy any merch, it's available on emanotalk.com. So get your hands on that while it's still around. You could subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, all podcast platforms, or listen completely free on emanotalk.com as well. But if anything, we'll catch you tomorrow. I'm going to be live with Gamble on Ginter, their sports betting podcast. Old friend of mine having me stop by. We're going to do our first selection Sunday. So artists, if you want to send your music in to our email, that would be emanotalk@gmail.com. We would play your music live, review it completely free. I don't charge nobody for shit like this. So if you want to have your music played and reviewed, an honest opinion to lend an ear, I got you. So send it on through emanotalk@gmail.com. And other than that, we'll catch you during the week. I'll probably be streaming a little bit live from Instagram from Kanye West Sunday service tomorrow. But other than that, I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Take care. Peace. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, stay radical.